insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
And that is what we will do here on a Monday. Attack and dominate. I'm Jeff Tito Thitoff. To my left, the General Bobby Carpenter back in the building with us. Bodie Wells across the fake glass. Good morning, gentlemen. We are Morning Juice, sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin and Event Risk Elite Protection. Bobby, is summer over?
Yeah, I would say this final week, once you get high school football rolling, which is what's going to be going on this week with everybody getting back into it, then yeah, summer is over. That was always the delineating point for me, is once you get into football, and once that happens, Ohio State, they'll be reporting as well this week, and that means summertime that I love and favorite time of the year at Ohio, it is officially over.
Bodie, is summer over for you? Or did you ever have a summer? I don't think you ever had a summer.
I feel like once I had to come in last week and start cutting up Browns and Bengals training camp sound, I guess it's over.
I think what did they call us, the "we're back" or "we're back together" weekend? The NFL did something like that. They had a way they tried to own the weekend. Like, was it "we're back" or was it "we're back together"? I don't remember what it was. We're together again, whatever it was. The NFL tried to brand it that way. Bobby, I want you to do this for you, please.
Back together weekend.
There we go. Bobby, humor me here. Ask me when NFL preseason starts.
I don't care.
3 days this week.
Everybody, listen. Everybody's already at practice already.
I know. We can say it though, Bobby. There's NFL football this week.
There's NFL football going on right now.
I know, but it's the game.
The practices are open to the public, about half of them. So go over and watch one of those.
Maybe Bobby.
You would get more out of watching a practice than you will watching that Hall of Fame game.
You're probably right about that.
Not probably.
Okay, Bobby, you're definitely right about that.
I mean, such that you keep saying it's back. Like, football has been back for 2 weeks.
I know, but it's back now. Like with like 3 A's in the word. I think it's back.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I've said a lot of ridiculous things, Bobby. I'm an incredible slouch. Reds beat the Rays 2-1 yesterday. They host the Dodgers at 7-10 tonight. Big series for the Reds. They're game out of the final wild card spot. Guardians fall to KC 4-1. Cleveland hosts Colorado at 6:40. MLB trade deadline is this week. We've got Bill Bender's going to join us today. We'll do our normal things, the quick hitters. We're going to talk a lot of NFL as well. Lots to get into there. But yeah, we are just 33 days away until Ohio State, Texas. Cannot wait for that. Bobby, why don't you do me a favor and make me smarter?
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
All right, General, take it away.
Oh, it's great to be back in here. It is Monday, July 28th, the 209th day of the year, 156 remaining in this 2025. This day, 1868, the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution is certified, and that is giving Black Americans the citizenship and due process of law, guaranteeing that as the 14th Amendment.
What year was that?
1868. It was 13, 14, 15 are the Civil War amendments that all happened right after the reunification of the country. This date, 1896, the city of Miami is incorporated. Miami, one of the great night spot places to go in all of countries. They made a lot of songs about it. You know, Mr. 305, formerly now Mr. Worldwide.
Rick Ross,
Will Smith, yes.
That's Mr. 305.
I know.
Worldwide. Okay, I didn't know if you knew.
He goes by a lot of nicknames.
Yes.
Pitbull,
Okay.
Mr. 305,
But
Mr.
Bobby,
Worldwide.
have you been to the night scene in South Beach?
Yeah, I mean, long time ago, and I don't really have any desire to go back.
But was it great at the time?
Yeah, because it was something that, I mean, it was a good time.
Okay.
But it's, I would say, overrated, expensive, and, I mean, listen, there's a lot of scenery down there for sure, but, I mean, I was going there as an engaged, I don't know if I was married yet, at least engaged with my wife
You were
as
spoken
well.
for.
Yeah, so there wasn't, like, any of that in there for me with everything. So, yeah, it was a little bit different with everything going on and everything else kind of happening. So, yeah, it was good, but not probably what I would have thought.
Didn't live up to the hype.
Well, it was overrated.
Okay.
And I guess now I look back at it, it's like, yeah, it'd be fun, but I have zero desire to do that at this point in time. This date, 1935, the first flight of the B-17 occurs. The Flying Fortress, very popular bomber during World War II.
Is that what the B stood for, was bomber?
You know, it's a great question. I imagine.
I would think it would be, but I've never heard that.
That sounds correct, and you're saying that. I don't know if that is 100%
I went
accurate,
from
but
most ridiculous thing you've ever heard to maybe something that's brilliant.
It says the Boeing B-17. I don't know if the B also stands for Boeing or
bomber. It's a great question.
Is there a B plane, B jet that did not have bombs on it?
Okay. There's B-52s, B-17s. It's really, you know what? I don't know if that's for Boeing, like you said, or for, like Bodie said, or for bomber. Those are all great questions.
you can get one of those for a nice cent, $2.8 million.
Tom Cruise has the
finance.
No, Tom Cruise, and I can't think of what the plane was, but the World War II plane that he's flying at the end of Maverick is his.
Nice.
It's his personal plane?
Yeah, that's actually.
Why not?
Well, he got it after he got his pilot's license after the original Top Gun. Got it big in aviation. He's certified to fly multiple different levels of aircraft, and bought that plane. Like,
you don't see that level of commitment
no,
from a lot of people in their craft.
He lives the gimmick. I mean, that's him. Like at the end of the movie with
Tom Cruise isn't Maverick. Maverick
Conley
is Tom Cruise.
Right.
That's him with Conley, and they're flying. Like that's him flying the plane, and her behind him. And that she said she doesn't really like flying, and you're getting in a plane with.
Amazing that dude's still alive.
Tom Cruise?
Yes.
The reason he's alive is because he does all that
He's
stuff.
got like 3 or 4 more Mission Impossibles.
I want you to know, Rob reached out to me.
They say what?
Bob equals bomber.
Okay.
F equals fighter. C equals cargo. A equals attack.
F-16, that makes sense.
There we go. Rob just texted me back. That's a fantastic.
Fighter planes, yeah.
Yes.
Good job out of you, Rob.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense right there. This date, 1939. Over the Rainbow is recorded by Judy Garland.
Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue.
Overrated.
Really?
No, I'm saying like the movie.
Or Judy Garland or the song?
Well, I'd say yes. Both overrated.
Yes.
They're both overrated, Bob. It's a weird movie. It's like one of those movies that somebody was on drugs when they wrote it. I got an idea. Let's have these flying monkeys. Let's do that. And so, like, yeah, it's an overrated movie, Bobby, and she was drugged up as soon as she was hitting like her late teens and whatever. So it's
a free country.
It's a free country.
That's outstanding.
I mean, whatever
Bobby.
she wants to be a part of, like, go for it.
Yeah.
This date, 1973, Chicago 6 hits #1 by the band Chicago.
Just you and me.
Oh, yeah. This is that yacht rock that Thitoff loves.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you.
Baby, you're everything I've ever dreamed of.
You ever heard any of that before, Bodie?
I don't think so, but it was pretty catchy tune.
Peter Cetera, when he was with Chicago, was a great thing right there. By the way,
I saw Chicago semi-live. They performed at halftime of the Notre Dame Virginia game
Did they
last
really?
year. Yeah. People were loving it. I was like,
Next
I'm
stop,
not
State
super
Fair.
familiar, but I'm in.
by the way, Joe in our chat, Joe's actually, both of them, both said that F is for fighter, so appreciate them chiming in on the
Look at
chat
that.
as well. I'm telling you, chatters come strong.
They know, dude. The people out there know. The questions that we have, they can get answered
Yes.
for you. This date, 1984, the Summer Olympics open in the city of Los Angeles. It's going to be returning back to L.A.
It is.
A couple years, right?
28.
Yes, 28. So is that 3 more years? That'll be occurring. This date, 1992, Bare Naked Ladies released their debut album, Gordon.
And if I had $1 million, I'd buy your
There was some douchebag I used to know that that was his voicemail. Like when you called him, and it didn't answer his phone.
Oh,
He was like, "Hey, I'm not available right now. Listen to some sweet tunes." And he'd play that. Dude was a douchebag.
Wow, that's some pretty strong words.
Actually, that's what I think about that song. He ruined that
there.
song for me because I can't really like it because I think of that guy.
Yeah,
That's fair.
that's it's pretty strong. I mean, to say that just about having that as your
6:10 a.m. That's my take.
There you go.
Right.
Tito's
You've
thoughts.
had worse.
Fitbits.
This date, 1993, so 32 years ago today, Natalie Merchant plays for the final time with 10,000 Maniacs. And Because the Night, the live version, is one of the best songs that I have in my collection for sure.
Did Springsteen write that song?
Springsteen did write that song.
Yeah, that's his one. And he gave it away to, where's the young lady's name now? He gave it to somebody else to record, and then he did it after that. But yeah.
Natalie Merchant.
No, he gave it to somebody else back.
Someone else?
Yeah, before all that. But yeah, that's a great version by her, though.
Her voice is piercing.
I love her voice.
But I've heard him play that live. It's good.
Yeah.
But she steals the show with that for sure. This date, 2001, Australian Ian Thorpe wins a record 6 gold medals in the Swimming World Championships. Michael Phelps will then best that then in the Olympics. And also Mark Spitz taking home,
8.
Eight.
I think he took,
He took home 8 in the peak of his powers.
Great nickname for Thorpe, right?
What was it?
The Torpedo.
The Torpedo.
Yeah.
There you go. You like that, don't you, buddy?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Not too bad. This date, 1929, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis was born, 37th First Lady of the United States. Turning 82 today, Bill Bradley, the 2-time NBA champ, the All-Star, and the former New Jersey Senator.
Today, his jersey hangs in Madison Square Garden, alongside his teammates, the storied Knicks of the 70s.
We have a new NBA champion.
2-time world champions in 1970 and 73.
We were not the best players in the league, but we were the best team, and for 2 years we were the best team in the world.
What does it feel like for you now to come to Madison Square Garden after all these years?
Well, it's still home.
Beautiful teamwork.
I really believe it was the first time in my life that I ever felt I belonged.
There you go.
By the way, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, you said 37th First Lady?
Yeah.
Did not complete her term.
Well, yeah, because her husband was assassinated.
Want to make sure we were
okay. I mean, thank you for the update on that. Appreciate that.
I think it'd be better if they made them.
Breaking
if
news.
she's still the First Lady,
That's
and
the thing.
LBJ comes in, then you've got to stay. You have to marry her.
You know what?
She did nothing wrong.
That is true, but I mean, her husband lost his life, so
Right.
that would be her connectivity to the position. But either way, Thitoff,
All right.
you go.
Pat Nick's going to stay in the office too.
There you go. This state turning 80 today, Jim Davis, the creator of Garfield, celebrating a big birthday as well. Doug Collins turning 74, 4-time All-Star as a player, and the Bulls coach when Jordan came in.
Got a little Jim Davis for you here
Sorry,
first.
Yes, some
that's all right.
Garfield.
I took a long, hard look at the comics, and I saw dogs doing very well. Snoopy, Marmaduke, Fred Bassett, Belvedere, you name it. No cats. So I thought, I grew up on a farm near Fairmount with about 25 cats, and so I knew cats. So I thought I could give a cat a human personality, because Garfield is a human in a cat suit, basically. I asked myself, what would a character be like, if you were a cat? And that would be, I think, a person out for all the creature comforts, shelter, love, food. That simple, and not apologize for it. So that, to me, was the exercise I used when I created the strip.
There you go.
Bit simple and genius at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you just stumble, not any dogs in comics. I think I'm going to do it. And it worked out brilliantly.
Did work out very, very well for him, with Garfield still being highly, highly entertaining. All kinds of spin-offs of that comic strip. And I mentioned Doug Collins, former Bulls coach for Jordan, number of other teams, 4-time All-Star as a player as well.
The game was tied. I'm soaking wet with sweat, and it was Michael Jordan. And he looked at me and he said, "Coach, I'm not going to let you lose your first game." And he went out and scored like the last 10 points of the game, ended up with 50.
Michael Jordan setting a new Madison Square Garden record for an opposing player tonight, scoring 50 points.
And I remember being on the plane going back to Chicago. I said, wow, I mean, this guy is something like I've never seen before.
Doug and I were like this. He designed the offense to support the way I played the game and the way he wanted to coach.
I think he loved my competitiveness. He understands that the greatest respect you can give a great player is to coach him and coach him hard.
There we go, dude. Doug Collins on Michael Jordan. Dana White, UFC director, turning 56 today.
Dana was put on this earth to do what he does, literally to be the face of the UFC. I think the fact that he became such a big part of the brand actually helped the brand and helped elevate the brand of the UFC, and that association between the two worked.
Jake said that I snort cocaine, that I'm a cokehead. My rebuttal to that was, I'll tell you what, you can test me for the next 5 years for cocaine if I can test you randomly for performance-enhancing drugs the next 2 years. And I never got a response on that. But other than when me and Jake Paul have gone back and forth with each other, I've never said anything to defame him. And then when he was talking about his fights being fixed, I don't think that people are actually saying that they're predetermined outcomes, that they're fixing the fights, with predetermined outcomes. They're saying if you're fighting a 60-year-old fucking guy that can barely walk to the fucking ring, right, and almost died 2 months before that, it's almost like a predetermined outcome. That's what they're fucking saying.
He's a genius.
He does a really good job.
Jake Paul, or
I don't think I'm talking about Jake Paul. Bobby. I've talked before about how I got to interview Maria Sharapova when she was 13, and obviously goes on to great things after that. Dana White came through town one time promoting a fight, and I think it was John Jones. And I got to spend about 10 minutes interviewing Dana White just one-on-one. And you could tell at that point, like he's got an energy to him it's different.
Oh, he's relentless. He is relentless and does a great job promoting his product. Yep. The fact that it was John Jones is...
I think it was John Bones Jones. I think it was. I think I talked to him too.
That doesn't surprise me. Absolutely. Some other birthdays today. Elizabeth Berkley turning 51 today, the former Saved by the Bell star, and then went on to some movies after that as well.
Tonight? Yeah. Wait, what am I going to wear?
Jesse, remember?
Great.
Oh, yes.
Lisa's bringing your costume.
I'm so excited. I got to wash my hair.
No, there's no time.
No time. There's never any time. I don't have time to study. I'll never get into Stanford. I'll let everyone down. I'm so confused.
Jesse, hey, just calm down. It's okay.
You're right.
It's okay.
Everything will be okay.
Yeah.
I just need one of these.
Pills? You mean you really are taking drugs?
I need them.
Jesse, give me those.
I need them, Zach. I have to sing.
Jesse, you can't sing tonight.
Yes, I can. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so scared.
Jesse.
Just be a stripper.
Oh, she did that later.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Striptease.
I would have loved to have seen
She
a combo.
also played a Lady of the Night in Any Given Sunday.
Did she really? I didn't know that.
Have you not seen the movie?
No. Is there racing in it with Burt Reynolds?
Oh, Lord.
On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch.
I mean, thank you, Bodie, on command right there. The fact that you've heard that and you've never seen the movie Thitoff is probably... It's actually a movie about sports.
I know.
Which is what you claim to love.
What was the other one? What was the other one that was the coaching one we talked about? It was with James
Miracle?
Caan. No, I've seen Miracle many times. James Caan was the head coach on the football team, and it was... do you remember that? It's like he was
the program.
The program, right, yeah.
You haven't seen that either?
I haven't seen that either. We played a lot of clips of it in the Damons I worked at. We had literally
that was
a
like
video
peak
cassette.
Of that came out in mid-'90s.
We had to play it during commercial breaks and stuff on other sports. We would play the program thing. We gave away tickets stuff, but no, I never saw it.
It's unfortunate. This is your consumption in movie catalog. I thought I had it curated to where at least sports movies would be in there. And I
still got to watch that Titans movie. That one was pretty good.
You've never seen Remember the Titans?
No.
Oh, Tito. Jeez.
Your son would actually enjoy that.
Is it appropriate for him?
Remember the Titans is a Disney movie.
Okay. Look,
now, Any Given Sunday, probably not quite there yet. And the program also probably not
But the
quite
Titans
there.
is a good one.
Yes, that's very appropriate. It's a Disney movie.
He loved the Hoosiers movie, which I've also seen. He loved that one. So maybe I'll get him to watch the Titans one.
He loved the Hoosiers movie. Most people would just say he loved Hoosiers. The Hoosiers movie. That movie with the Hoosiers.
Right, the Hoosiers movie and the Titans movie.
Oh, my gosh.
Not the Tennessee Titans. Spoiler alert.
Different Titan altogether.
Yes.
Manu Ginobili, former Spurs star, turning 48 today.
The Heat have gone cold. Ginobili on the finish. Flushes it with the left hand.
Manu Ginobili turned back the hands of time.
Oh, Ginobili crossover move. Oh, Manu Ginobili. Even the Laker fans erupting with that one.
From DeJuan Blair, and here's the back. He's back.
Oh, Manu knocked it out of midair.
Manu had enough, and he will walk it off the floor. We've had towels, nets, and all we needed was Manu.
There you go. Manu Ginobili turning 48. Have you ever seen the TV show Perfect Strangers?
Oh, yeah, with Balky? Is that his name?
Balky Bartakamos?
Balky and then the other guy.
Also might be Manu Ginobili. I'm not sure.
That's a good point, Bob. He was great, by the way, Balky was in Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he's in that too.
Serious?
But given the fact that he's Argentinian, is that what?
I'm
Is
pretty
he really
sure.
Argentinian?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
amazing to me.
And so he's supposed to be like Greek or something in Perfect
No,
Strangers.
he's Russian. No?
No, I think he's Greek.
You can't do much Russians back then. Wasn't a good time.
Yeah, that wasn't the time for that. D'Amico Ryans, Texans head coach, turning 41 years young today, and passing away on this day 2009. Jim Johnson, who was the longtime defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, created that whole defense that Spagnuolo runs with the Chiefs and was with the Giants. That was his defense with Philadelphia. Some holidays and observances today. It's National Hamburger Day. It is National Milk Chocolate Day.
Ooh.
National Water Park Day.
Ooh.
Big one for you, Thitoff. World Hepatitis Day. And
Which one, the hepatitis one or the water park one? Because it's right between where you said it.
I think you could. I usually say that
it's a crossover.
Like the prelude for that.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
there
So
you go.
hepatitis. What's hepatitis?
ABC. I mean, it's like the vegetable soup there for you.
I know hepatitis. What? Like, I don't know what the disease does to you. I just know it's bad.
It's bad. Well, I mean, it's a blood disease that you get.
Okay.
Well, you can get it. There's different versions for different. I'm not a doctor on this. I probably should know more about it. I know I had to go get vaccinated for it before I went to college. So that was a big deal, I guess. And that's today's Health Minute.
I don't have hepatitis.
World Nature Conservation Day. And those historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date, Monday, July 28th, the 209th day of the year and 156 days remaining in this 2025.
Well done as always, General. Coming up, Bill Bender, Sporting News next.
Delaware County Veterans Services, here for those who served. Located on the ground floor of the historic courthouse in downtown Delaware, our team of veteran county veteran service officers is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Need a ride to a VA appointment, facing a financial emergency? Are you or your spouse simply looking for answers? Then give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. Delaware County Veterans Services.
Patients everywhere are experiencing joint pain relief thanks to QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. So how does this non-surgical approach work? QC Kinetics Medical Director Dr. Aaron Wolkoff explains.
Is like when you get a paper cut and the cells that come onto that scene first stop the bleeding, and then it recruits more cells to form new skin and new soft tissue. And then you look down a week later, 2 weeks later, and it's like nothing happened and that paper cut never existed.
In this same way, QC Kinetics uses your natural biologics to help repair and restore aching knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
We take those same similar cells in different areas that are arthritic, are painful, and we cause this kind of internal self-healing that can resolve patients' pain.
Relief without surgery. See if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
380-208-4544.
When it comes to protecting your assets, you need a security partner. Event Risk Security Services is a U.S.-based veteran-owned company providing protection services, consulting to Fortune 500 companies, movie studios, celebrities, and high-net-worth individuals. If you're tired of fluff margins with low compensation for poor quality services and an endless revolving door of vendor staffing, then give them a try. They're virtually the same cost, and they can address what keeps you up at night. Event Risk. Check them out at eventriskinc.com to learn more.
While serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. Today, I'm a sculptor. Now, my fingers are my eyes. I'm Michael Naranjo. As a veteran, I know the challenges of life can be great. In my art, turning a lump of clay into something beautiful, that is worth doing. Life is like that. We each must use what we can to make things better.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
Now, I show others how they can create something with their own hands. I know it can do a lot of good. With support from DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Michael Naranjo, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Event Risk. What keeps you up at night? Visit EventRiskINC.com.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town and the opportunity to work alongside them as partners? Whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area and will help you reach your goals. Whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or an equipment financing package to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor the solutions that fit your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them in person at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, now we're joined by Bill Bender for the Sporting News. Bill, good morning. Hope you had a great weekend. Michigan, I believe, I'm not sure on this, I'm just guessing. I believe Michigan and Western Michigan are less than 150 miles apart. I could be wrong on that. But nonetheless, they're close to each other. Why in the hell are they playing a game in Germany?
Yeah, no idea. That was one of the stranger stories from last week. I don't know why you would want to go all the way across the globe to play what is basically a regional local game that's kind of important to, the MAC fan bases. Like, for example, Ohio plays Ohio State this year, and we're looking forward to that. But you don't need to go all the way across to Germany to do that. Now, I would anticipate that we see more games over there. I mean, the Dublin games have been a success, and, Germany, London, Paris, I'm sure we'll see those at some point. We'll see college games over there, whether we like it or not.
That's for the first game of the 2026 season. Let's be honest, that's probably Michigan's bowl game, right?
Yeah, I mean, that could happen. I thought that might go down last week because I was in the middle of being in Charlotte running around ACC kickoff. But any day here, that we'll see what the final ruling on that is. I can't speculate on it will be. I think the harshest punishment that the NCAA could deal out would be, a bowl ban or a postseason ban for a year or two, and heavy financial penalties. But the NCAA rarely does what we think they're going to do, and they're always inconsistent. We can say that.
I don't know if you saw this, Bill. I was making the rounds on social media. I stumbled into this, I don't know, maybe Friday or Saturday, but it was Dave Aranda from Big 12 Media Days. A lot of people thought it was AI, but it was actually, in fact, real. And I didn't get the crux of the question at the beginning, but he somehow gets into making the analogy and comparison of Wolf of Wall Street and coaching college football and the One of Us. Did you happen to see that?
I know that Andy Staples wrote a story years ago where I think, if it wasn't Andy, it was someone else. I don't want to pin this on him. That the Wolf of Wall Street analogy was in there in a story with Dave Aranda years ago, maybe when he took the Baylor job. So it wouldn't surprise me.
Maybe that's what it was then. Maybe it was from a while ago, and I heard that, and I was like, because I thought it would have been getting more. I thought it was from Media Days this time, so maybe that's why I thought it was fresher. Maybe they just unpacked something from a while back.
Yeah, and Dave Aranda is definitely quirky.
Yes.
Former defensive coordinator at LSU in Wisconsin, high energy, and he's got a team, Bobby, that Baylor team a lot of people like as a sleeper. Sawyer Robertson closed the season very well, quarterback last year, and they are favored in their opener against Auburn. So what a game that's going to be, and that's yet another game in week one that's going to be telling for both programs.
That certainly will be. And the week 0, week 1, I mean, really more week 1, I guess. Week 0's only got one good game out there in Dublin. But the week 1, I get amazed every year by how many teams open up with hammers in week 1. And I wonder if coaches prefer that. Like Ohio State, Texas this year is week 1. I got to believe Ryan Day would rather have that week 2 or week 3. And I got to believe the other coaches too. When they do these big week 1 games, it's great exposure. But I would think they'd rather, if they're trying to win the game, they'd rather have a week or 2 under their belts.
If I was scheduling a huge non-conference game, I would want to play it in week 2.
Yeah.
I just want one game before that. I'm not, and I get it. I think it's awesome. And I know I was on this show last week with Tim telling him, I do like week 1 blockbuster matchups. This week 1 is as good as we've had in the last 25 years. You know, between that, LSU, Clemson, there's so many, Tito. I mean, I don't want to take that away, but if I'm a coach, yeah, I want to play that in week 2.
You know, Bill, I'd prefer if I was going to do something like that, you know, if I had a preference, I wish a single conference. I'd like to be Big 10, Big 12, ACC, SEC, whatever. If they want to own week 0, schedule conference games that week. Just do a full slate of conference games, and I think then you take over week 0.
I mean, you could do that. And I know as a fan, I would get more nervous about a conference game to start the season. I mean, but we've seen Ohio State do that in past seasons. They've played Ohio State, or they played Indiana.
Played Minnesota one year?
That Minnesota, that was the one I was trying to figure out. Yeah. So they've played conference games early, and it does increase the urgency of fall camp and all those things, which you're going to see get firing off this week. But I don't have a problem with that. That's a good idea.
You know, is there a team, like with all the media stuff now, the media days all in the bag, everybody's going to be reporting at some point this week, or some teams already have reported if they've had the week 0 and early games. Is there one thing, Bill, that you feel like you learned over the last 2 to 2.5 weeks heading into the season that maybe you were unaware of, or some storyline that crept up that you felt was more pertinent than would have been otherwise?
Carson Beck at Miami is more interesting since I went there last week, down to ACC kickoff and listened to Carson Beck talk, and he wasn't, talking down about Georgia or anything like that. And Miami, a team that won 10 games last year, probably one of the better programs that hasn't been in the college football playoff. I mean, they've got to put it together and push through there. But, Carson Beck's a guy that's played a lot of football. He's 24-3 as a starter. So I think Miami becomes a little more interesting. And then, of course, I forget that, hey, they played Notre Dame in the opener on that Sunday night standalone game. That's a huge game. So, and the ACC in general, the ACC has a huge primetime game Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Friday, Georgia Tech, Colorado. You got Clemson, LSU. Mentioned Miami, Notre Dame, and then Bill Belichick's debut that Monday night against TCU. It's a huge non-conference weekend for the ACC.
You brought up Carson Beck, and when those guys come now, these transfer quarterbacks, and are brought into media days, and we've been in this for a little bit now, and some of the NIL stuff, there's some publicity around that of what those numbers look like. I mean, how many of those questions that Carson Beck is getting are about his leaving of Georgia, why he went to Miami, and all of that exposure?
Well, I would say the first 5 questions in his breakout session were about Georgia. They got that part out of the way. then they started talking about Miami and, transfer quarterbacks. They probably follow that same routine on some level. And then there were a couple follow-ups about Georgia later. But he really talked about the fit with Miami. Mario Cristobal had a lot of nice things to say, too. They wanted him. And it is a prove-it year for Carson Beck. Turned the ball over too much last year. And some of that was on the Georgia receivers. Some of that was on him. I mean, I was always making the point that he did lose Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey, and both of those guys had monster rookie seasons in the NFL last year.
Bill Benner, Sporting News, joins us now. Bill, I follow you on social media. I've seen no mention of South Beach, so I'm going to assume you weren't there, but if you were there, you did a great job of hiding it. So good for you on that one. Deion Sanders is going to have a press conference today in Colorado, and their highlighting is like Deion Sanders and his medical team will hold a news conference amid the Colorado coaches' battle with unspecified issues. Is there something more significant going on with Deion that you know of or that you think might be going on?
I know he's been dealing with health issues for a couple years. So is this the one that I don't know what to expect from this press conference. So it could be anything. It could be the way that he's managing his health and trying to get back on the sideline. It could be I don't want to speculate that like he's retiring, but again, one of these anything's on the table here today, and it is, to say the least, that you would have a press conference with your medical advisors. Maybe he'll defer to them and they'll answer questions about his health. But, I thought he did well at Media Day and created some excitement for Colorado, but who knows? I mean, this is just another thing that I'm going to have to catch today. And hopefully I want to see him on the sideline. I think he's good for college football.
I think he's great for college football. It's just been interesting with all of his health, Bill, where that's going to potentially go and what that's going to look like. We talked a little bit about Bill Belichick last week and, him being at media days and just you being surprised with kind of how, I don't know, was the term cordial? Is that appropriate to maybe use? Like,
yeah.
And willing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go. I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah, he was just answering questions and friendly and seemed to be having fun and accepting this challenge of coaching college football and the process of that versus what he was doing in the NFL. He was firing off one-liners. Bobby, I'm sure you got, when you were in New England, you got a little bit of that behind closed doors. The media's gotten very little of that over his 26 years, on the sideline. So it was very interesting to hear him be like that. And it does increase the fascination with him on the sideline in that Labor Day opener because it's a little bit like Deion. I don't know how long he's going to do it, 1, 2, 3 years maybe. I do know that it's going to be intriguing to see if he wins and even better if he does. And the amount of cameras following him around, that hadn't happened much at the media days I've been at. There were a ton of cameras waiting just to get a shot of Bill Belichick walk down the hallway.
We'll get you out of this one, Bill. Would you be surprised or impressed if Belichick at some point in the next couple of years, whatever, resigns, and Steve is the next guy in line, and Steve responds with a press conference on a napkin and writes, "I resign as head coach as HC of the UNC"?
Yeah, I mean, that would not surprise me at all. As Dabo said, he was in a coaches meeting and he said, "Man, there's Bill Belichick over there. That's 2025 if I've ever seen something." So I hope he's in it this year. The Jordan Hudson was not around. Everybody was looking for her at the ACC kickoff. She was not there. There's going to be, I think when we get down to it, you forget that this guy, X's and O's, he's pretty good at them, and we're going to find out how good. I thought you were going to ask me about Happy Gilmore too. I watched that last night.
That was okay. You're right. You did. You watched it with the kids, right?
Yeah. The way I put it is, I know you guys remember this one. It reminded me a little bit of Little Nicky. It wasn't like a great movie, but it was fun and made me laugh. And obviously it's not going to be as good as the first one, but I had fun watching it just the same.
It can't be as good as the first one because because Bob Barker and Carl Weathers are dead. But it's not. I've heard it's not bad. Bobby, did you like it?
I watched it with my kids on Friday night, and
can I watch with Artie?
Yeah.
Okay.
They liked it. It's pretty family safe. And Bill, like you said, like there was a lot of nostalgia. It's a cameo fest. But to be able to try to recreate something 30 years later, a movie like that, and put together a sequel, like I thought he landed the plane. I mean, it wasn't like you said a cinematic masterpiece, but they kept it short. He kept it concise. The plot line moved a lot, and I thought it was pretty good.
I'll co-sign that. And, like I said, my kids and I were talking, and we got a lot of sequels that are better, other than, like, Terminator. And this, you guys are going to hang up on me if I say this, Home Alone 2 might be better than Home Alone.
No!
And then other than that, I mean, there's not a lot.
All right, Bill. You know what? That's a great way to end because I'm not going to go off on you because we're running out of time. Home Alone 2 is not whatever. We'll talk. Look, you and I will do this off the air. But thank you for coming on today. We'll talk again next week, Bill.
Anytime. Thanks for having me, guys. Have a great week.
You bet. That was Bill Bender from the Sporting News joining us. Quick hitters next.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we.
Brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together.
Established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
You know a thing or two about the moments in life that matter. You've seized those moments to embrace joy, accomplish great things, and build meaningful relationships. Is it time now to sit back and reflect on a life well lived? Maybe. Or maybe there's more to be done. Maybe this is the most important moment you've encountered yet. By volunteering with AmeriCorps Seniors, you can seize the moment, lend a hand, and get back more than you give. We connect you to local volunteer organizations with opportunities that fit your schedule and match your interests. Through AmeriCorps Seniors, you can support people in times of need and make your community stronger. You can become a companion to your older neighbors, brightening their days with friendship. You can even become a mentor for young people, serving as a role model and enriching their lives. Are you ready to seize your moment? Visit AmeriCorps.gov/yourmoment and get started today.
Hey there, Jane Lynch here. You want to hear something funny? Too bad. You want to hear something uplifting that will inspire you? Good. Because today, I want to talk to you about Direct Relief, a humanitarian organization that does seriously good work when it counts. Fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. When disaster strikes, Direct Relief immediately shows up with medicines, medical supplies, and everything doctors and nurses need to save lives. Let's ship her out! Every day across the United States and around the world, they're making an enormous difference. If someone needs help, Direct Relief helps. No politics, no red tape. Hey, what you doing over there?
Oh, I'm packing insulin for kids with diabetes.
See, every box here is literally a lifeline for someone in critical need. So check them out at directrelief.org. You might just bring a smile to someone's face.
Attack and dominate, YouTubers. You're locked into the Morning Juice.
All right, Morning Juice. Thank you to Bill Bender for joining us. Although, got to tell you, Bob, he's the first person I've ever heard say Home Alone 2 was better than Home Alone 1.
It's an interesting take. I'll be honest.
Feels like a bit of a reach. Hot take. I think he's
I
trying to
don't
get
know if
viewers.
it's a hot take. Home Alone 2 is really good. Those are two of the sequels that I would say are on fairly level footing. I mean, you could say, like, when you get into, like, series then, you know, some of the Godfathers, you know, how those are kind of woven together. Terminator 2 probably better than Terminator 1. I think Top Gun Maverick probably better than the first.
Ooh. I don't remember seeing a sweaty volleyball scene, but
The Dark Knight was definitely better than
yes, it
Dark
was.
Knight,
First one.
better
Batman
than
Begins,
the first. And that's just a lot of Heath Ledger and just his brilliance in that one. But all three of those movies I thought were pretty good. There was none. There were none in there that was like, The Dark Knight, that was the best of the three.
Definitely.
But I would say, did you watch Happy Gilmore?
I did. I watched it on Friday night.
And
I really enjoyed it. I don't understand why. I think you and Bill kind of hit the nail on the head. They weren't trying to recreate Shawshank here. It was supposed to just be a fun. It could have been better if they had less cameos and whatnot.
But I think some
were they forced? Some of the cameos forced?
Not forced. I say that because they had a lot of golfers in there and whatnot, and those guys aren't actors. So of course the acting would have been better if a lot of those people weren't in it.
That's what I thought them trying to act was part of the bit.
It was funny. It was it was good for what it was supposed to be. It wasn't. I don't know. I felt like I saw people saying oh, it's so bad I shut it off, and I'm like, what? You shut it off? At no point, at the worst point of the movie, whatever that would have been, I never even remotely considered to stop watching it. I laughed a good bit throughout. It's kind of, I haven't seen the first one in quite a while. I remember the bigger parts of it, but I don't remember it start to finish. But I also don't remember the first one exactly being in the top 5 of IMDb. It was fun. It's good. It's a Adam Sandler type thing. It'll make you laugh. It's not supposed to be serious. It's not supposed to be they clearly are trying to just kind of make you laugh, and it's a fun 2 hours. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Either of you ever physically walked out of a movie theater?
No. I always stay to the end.
I don't know if I've ever even shut off a movie. And we've all seen bad movies at some point, but I'm kind of I've already committed. Might as well finish it out. I also think I
always wait for the redemption. It's got to get better.
Yes,
times it never gets better.
How many times have you watched a movie though and honestly walked away saying that was the biggest waste of time? I don't think it happens often. Even movies that I would look back on, and because I went and saw the new Fantastic Four over the weekend. Did you like that one? And I loved it. Yeah, I thought it was great. But Marvel's had some misses recently after the post Endgame movie. But I still haven't watched any of them and thought geez, that was absolutely terrible. They're not great. A lot of them haven't been as good as they were pre-2019.
Yeah.
But I still never considered shutting the movie off.
I remember, I don't know how, I remember walking out of a movie before, and I can't remember which movie it was. I wish I could think about that one. But it was a movie I walked out on. I was like, this is just stupid. And I can't remember what it was.
Have you guys seen The Happening with Mark Wahlberg? It's kind of supposed to be scary. Not make you jump out of your seat, but it's end of the world, people start just killing themselves for no reason.
Sounds like a family movie. A lot of great ones.
It's pretty terrible. That's probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And I like Marky Mark. He's had some misses too. But even that, I still watched it till the end. Whatever, I've already put an hour in. What's 60 more minutes?
Right. Yeah. That's the thing about Happy Gilmore is that, too, it's not long. So
it's 2 hours.
Is it even that long? I felt like it was 95 minutes. I don't know.
I think it was right at about 2.
Okay. But it moves.
Yeah.
And he has, spoiler alert, there's a lot of old golfers in it.
Right.
And then he has a lot of the current golfers in it. He's got cameos from all kinds.
You can't get through a scene without.
I don't know how many real actors are actually in the movie.
Yeah.
I heard the story.
It's typical Adam Sandler, where it's he's got all of his best friends in the movie, which I love. The guy's loyal to his core. And then it's basically a bunch of celebrities. But I said, it's fun. It wasn't supposed to be trying to win an Oscar. It went straight to Netflix. It didn't go into theater. But yeah, go ahead, Tito.
I heard Sandler talking about the first one. And originally it wasn't going to be Bob Barker as the guy he fights. It was going to be Ed McMahon. And then, I don't know if McMahon died or just refused to... But anyway, it didn't happen. McMahon, though, was the guy they first targeted and then went to Barker. And I think Barker's people said, we'll do it, but we have to win the fight.
That's great.
Which I think is awesome. Look, I'm so late. Let's do a quick hitter.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, good morning, Bodie Wells.
Good morning, guys. We'll start with the NFL here. Back in the spring, Terry Bradshaw, he called the Steelers' interest in Aaron Rodgers a joke, telling 103.7 The Buzz in Pittsburgh, that guy needs to stay in California, go somewhere and chew on bark and whisper to the gods out there. Over the weekend, Rodgers, though, he responded to those comments for the first time since joining the team in an interview. Say that 3 times. In an interview with the NFL Network, Rodgers said, Terry's a legend. He's an absolute legend. He won 4 Super Bowls here. He's had a legendary career in the media, but Terry doesn't know me. I'd love to get to know Terry on a deeper level, and I feel like if he gave me a chance to get to know him, then we'd have a good friendship. But because for me, I have nothing but the utmost amount of respect and deference for what the greats have done because they laid the foundation for us to be able to play in this great game. Bobby, I think Aaron taking the high road here is by far the best move that he can do.
It's the only road for him to take that he should have taken, and it makes a lot of sense for him to do this. If not, it was just going to be a mudslinging contest that would have proceeded. And like, he can endear himself by doing this to Pittsburgh fans, and he talking like he doesn't know me. I'd love to get to know him. He's been great. You give the ultimate deference to him and what he's achieved. He doesn't throw any subtle jabs in there. There's no backhanded compliments saying that, hey, Terry played on a team of Hall of Famers.
Right.
And like he could have
I would love to play with that offensive defense.
Yeah,
right, because of that.
He could have easily kind of thrown some stuff in there, and he chose not to. And I think that'll endear him to the Pittsburgh fans. I think it was a way to stay above the fray. I don't think there's a follow-up by Terry on this because I don't know what he would say about that. Is maybe someone might ask him, like, do you want to reach to get to know Aaron Rodgers? Would you like to talk to him?
Right.
What's Terry then supposed to say? No? Like, I'll prefer to hate him from a distance.
Fair to say, Bob, if I said Bobby has a personal relationship with Aaron Rodgers, is that accurate or not accurate?
I guess.
No, I'm just asking because you said something about him last week about you hung out with him a few times and you spoke like the kind of person he is kind of different than what he's perceived. I'm just asking. So,
yeah, I've hung out with Aaron in social settings, like intimate social settings, where there would probably a degree of knowledge about him that maybe other people wouldn't have.
Okay, the reason I bring that up, Bob, is because this response to me sounds like probably more the real Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's why I was asking that, because I think that Aaron handled this perfectly. And he even said, like, I think Terry and I could be great friends if we got to know each other. You know?
Yeah.
And he certainly, you're right, no backhanded compliments. He gave credit to Terry for his career. You know, like he said, he was a great quarterback, Hall of Famer.
Won 4 Super Bowls.
Right. So, like, he did everything right in this scenario, I think, the way Aaron handled it, which I don't know if 15 years ago Aaron has that similar response.
I think he probably always. Well, the thing is, 15 years ago, that's 2010. He had just won his first Super Bowl,
Sure.
So he was a much different person in the time.
I'm going to win 4 more than he ever won.
Right.
Yeah. And I think there is probably a little maturity over the last 6 to 8 years. I mean, that's just how people are as they get older. And like you become a little more weathered in some of your decision making.
Bobby, in the comment, the full statement, everything you said, he also was saying, Bradshaw's with this guy, talk about the greats, and actually mentioned Brett Favre, which I thought was surprising. Like, he made a point to say Brett Favre, you mentioned him with Bradshaw and guys like that, Brady, he mentioned him in that same conversation, which also leads me to believe, you're right, the weathered, matured, and all this kind of stuff, but it was a win for Aaron Rodgers, I think.
Well, it gave him the ability, like you said, by throwing Brett in there too, is remarkable, because then you're really kind of just throwing out olive branches to everybody, and it makes it, like you said, the high road, the road less traveled, usually in this situation, is definitely the road to take if you can muster up your pride instead of snapping back, but giving deference to a lot of the great players.
Yeah, he mentioned in that thing also, if Terry wants to go out to California and eat bark or whatever together, we can do that. We can, whatever he said kind of thing, and we can do that. He said, I think we'd be good friends. By the way, also from Steelers camp, Will Howard, I don't know, it was yesterday or Saturday, Bob, but he comes out in one of the drills and throws a touchdown pass, and the crowd goes nuts. And I guess Will Howard says afterwards, he thought that they were yelling about something. When he threw the ball and he hears the crowd go crazy, he thinks maybe Joey Porter Jr. made a great play or something. That's why they were cheering. He didn't realize until afterwards they were cheering for him, and that was pretty cool. I would love for Rodgers to stay 2 years. and then let Will Howard take over?
I think if he plays well and things go well, I could see him playing too.
Okay, so wins the Super Bowl, is he gone?
Ooh, I don't know. That's the Elway departure.
Right.
That would be, I think, tough for him to walk away, depending on who's coming back and what that looks like. But I could see it ultimately happening.
Yes, I wonder about what level he would have to reach to come back. Like if they go 7-10, I don't think he's coming back.
No, but if they go 10-7 and get to the
And
divisional
playoff
round,
game,
or maybe get to an AFC championship,
Right.
and he's playing well,
Yeah.
which I think he's going to. There's people that say, watch him throw the football. He's not Peyton Manning at the end. The guy can still zip it. I could see him coming back.
I could see it too. I think that if they, like I say, yeah, like your point there, if they make the divisional round, or if they make the AFC championship game, then I could see him coming back. If they win the Super Bowl, maybe not. If they lose the Super Bowl, maybe so, because of how close they were. But I think that Rodgers.
I could also see him having a really good year and like putting them on a good track and then just walking away.
God, I hope he sticks around for Will Howard's sake, though. I think Will Howard would be great if he was the backup for 2 years to Aaron Rodgers. I think that'd be really good for his development.
100%.
And I wonder if, like with Rodgers, with Tomlin there, and it feels like he and Tomlin are on the same page. They both have the same mindset as far as what they want to have happen going forward. And I think he is more like Favre and Brady in their post 40 years or whatever than some of the other guys that have struggled. I think like he could be in that echelon of guys who perform very well after the age of 40.
I would agree with that.
So I'm excited about this. Look, I admit it. Okay, I'm a Steelers fan. I got it. I'm excited about it. I love what Rodgers has done so far, and I can't wait for the season to get started here. 3 days, Bobby.
When's their first preseason game, Tito?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Wow, fan you are.
I know. Look, I know that Artie's going to go with Heather to a preseason game when they play, I think, Tampa Bay this year.
Nice.
In Pittsburgh. So, because I got a friend of mine who's had season tickets and never goes to those games, even though he has to pay for them, just gives them away because.
Just a good guy.
It's the beauty of the season ticket package for the NFL. They give you ones even that they give you games.
Clark, that's the gift
want.
that keeps on giving every preseason.
Yes, it is. That's it for Quick Hitters. Coming up next, why all the fighting? We'll discuss next. Morning Juice.
It's been a real journey since 2014 when I first had my injury. I realized that my home was just not working for me and that it was time to ask for help. Homes for Our Troops is really giving me my life back. The shower allows me to go in and turn around with my chair, pull down storage racks, automated door systems, hours of my morning given back to me. Adaptive sports are a huge part of my life, a huge part of my healing journey as well. Homes for Our Troops helped with making sure that I had a home gym so that I can continue to train. This past year, I was able to host Thanksgiving in my home. And it was the first time I was able to have my whole family in one place and I was able to contribute to the meal. There are a lot more veterans in need, and Homes for Our Troops is going to be there to help them too.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. I care deeply about creating a world we can all fully participate in, free from stigma, misperceptions, and barriers. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Rooted in communities nationwide, Easter Seals helps empower millions of people, regardless of age or disability, through its life-changing services and powerful advocacy. Today and every day, Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Learn more and get involved at easterseals.com.
Some journeys start small, with small pause and big purpose.
Look how little fly, you sweet girl.
Every great partnership begins with the first step,
Bella, let's go.
guiding them through the world so one day they can guide someone through life. With shared experience, confidence grows, and the path becomes clear. It takes time, patience, and love. But the reward lasts a lifetime.
Hey, good girl, Bella.
You don't just raise a puppy. You raise a future. Become a Dogs Inc. puppy raiser. Give a dog a purpose. Give someone hope.
Learn more at dogsinc.org.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Hey, Bobby, you know why I do this show most of the time?
I don't know, to get out of the house and to give you a way to talk about sports and show your movie knowledge.
The reason I do this show most of the time is for me. Because I want to learn more. And that's what this topic is all about coming up here. The Atlanta Falcons had some fights in their training camp. All right. Okay. I saw the story on ESPN. They called skirmishes. It says skirmishes get heated, go a little too far. Where they had guys, Falcons players, fighting with each other. With the Lions the other day, Dan Campbell stopped practice a couple of times. Amon-Ra St. Brown was in a fight with a defensive back.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown's a pretty important player for the Lions.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me why.
It ain't nothing but a heartbreak?
Yes.
Okay.
Tell me why.
It's amazing that you pulled that because I refrained from saying that.
Let me ask you this first, Bobby. Have you been in a training camp fight at any time? High school, college, pro?
I don't know what that means. Like, define fight. Post-play altercation? Sure.
Okay.
5 minutes in a drained pool with somebody? Like in
I'm saying you're out there practicing.
No.
You're out there. You guys are out there. I just don't understand, Bob. I don't understand how these teams get into fights. Your teammates. I don't see the benefit of it.
Your kids fight at all?
Well, yeah, but they're not teammates.
I don't understand how they fight. They're siblings.
Yeah, they're not. No, they're not teammates though. Look, and they're not getting.
You act like these guys chose to all be on the same team.
They might. That's fair, Bob. They probably. That's what I'm trying to figure out is why is it we have intra-squad. I understand if you're fighting with the other team. If you're playing like in a situation where it's a joint practice type of thing, where maybe the Lions and the Falcons are going against each other and a skirmish breaks out. I get that. I get it during the regular season. If guys get too hyped up and over, I just don't understand, Bob, the mentality of fighting your teammate.
Remember how when there's a couple of different elements to this. I mean, number one, like I just told you, that your kids fight.
But they're kids. These are adults.
I've had adult fights with my brothers. I mean, they're rarer and less infrequent because, or more infrequent, I guess, because you don't live with them. But you're with these guys all the time, every waking moment of the day for a couple weeks, and then you had just spent a lot of an off season together. And so, guys, there's a familiarity there with it. There's things, because of that familiarity, there's grudges and there's things that happen that are carried over from day to day. And the fact that, what we're talking about, Christian Wilkins.
Christian Wilkins to the Raiders, yep.
On Saturday or on Friday about how, he had one surgery. They wanted him to have another. He didn't want to do it. They had paid him a bunch of money. New regime comes in with Pete Carroll in Vegas, and they end up releasing him because he didn't want to get the second surgery. And I'm not a doctor here to say whether or not he needed that or whether the second surgery would have helped him. But there was comments that were telling me that you had heard someone made about, hey, if someone's going to pay me $5 million, I mean, I'll do all kinds of augmentation to my body to go out there and play.
Sure.
So these guys are all battling for jobs too. So it's a zero-sum game. There's a fixed number of positions that you can keep on the team.
Right.
Now, within the construct of the 55-man roster and, the practice squad, you can blend those position groups to a certain degree and maybe keep, 7 wide receivers and 1 less defensive back, or, maybe carry 2 quarterbacks versus 3, or an additional tight end, 1 O-line. Like, there's a little bit of room within those numbers, but you're still only keeping 55 guys. So everybody out there is battling for a job that they probably really like. So there's intensity to it.
Okay. Does a head coach, do you think, or does a coach, when they look at somebody getting into skirmishes during practice, is that likely a negative or a positive?
Depends on the player. Depends on the reason. Depends how they got there.
Right.
I mean, to say it depends is a cop-out, but it's the truth. I mean, if you have the same guy doing the same thing over and over again, you don't want that. You want your coaches want guys that are tough. You want tough teams. You don't want stupid teams.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't want guys that are getting you 15-yarders, but you do want teams that have an attitude that play a certain way. And so to be able to do that, sometimes you're going to have dudes that are a little bit edgy. So you want some of it. You don't want a lot of it. You don't want it to be a disruption and distraction from your ability to improve as a team, but you do want guys to go out there that maintain that edge.
So when you mentioned the thing about, you could still have an argument or disagreeing with your brother. Fight with your brother, let's say it. And I'm not saying like physical fight, but fight with your brother. But what my counter on that, Bob, would be if you and your brother, let's say your dad calls you and your brother and to say
only one of you get to live in the house.
No, that's not.
We're having tryouts.
We're not doing this. We're not doing Hunger Games. Hang on.
I'm just
snap the pole.
Okay. Bobby, I'm
Death
saying
or exile.
Your brother, your dad calls you and your brother and says, "Hey guys, I need my roof fixed. I can't get up there and do it. I need the 2 of you to do it." Okay, the 2 of you getting in a fist fight over that, like disagreeing on how to fix the roof. You guys have got the same
up on the roof when you're not handling your shingles in the right way and different things like that.
I wouldn't think it'd be a fist fight about that, though. Obviously, you guys have a common goal. Fix my dad's roof. My dad needs us to fix the roof. We're going to do it together. And I feel like in football, it's the same way. We're all trying to get better.
All those guys aren't going to be there, though.
They might not all be.
No,
but
not might. All
okay,
of them
all
will not be.
That's fair.
There will be 45 of the 90 that will not be there.
And that's where I wonder.
So that's almost half.
Okay. But if you're fighting a teammate, isn't that a detriment? I know you said it could be. I'm not trying to say, but I would think. Look, if I'm one of the guys,
if you pushed, I've seen guys get pushed in the back late after plays, doing dirty stuff. But if there's a play that just goes a little long, and by the way, I mean you usually have refs out at practice and everything. Mm-hmm. But it's not like a game, and their whistle isn't the same as a game whistle.
Right.
And so there's drills and stuff where you don't have any officiating. So delineating when the play is over sometimes doesn't happen. And nobody wants to ever take the L because they're trying to make the team. They like playing football. They like getting paid to play football, and they want to be out there. And the fact of the matter is 45 of those guys will not be there. And it might even be more than that if you talk about they may cut more guys and pick guys up off other teams that have been released or make trades or whatever it is. So there's all kinds of reasons as to why.
That's the kind of part that's fascinating to me. I guess if you go back one step and you talk about pushing after the play, something dirty. I don't understand why anybody does that. And I'm just saying,
some guys are trying to separate themselves.
God,
like they're not going to give up and lose and want to be seen as weak in the eyes of their coach at the end of a play.
Right.
They don't want to be seen as someone that does not possess toughness. And so that's how some of that stuff leads, is that I'm not going to be the first to walk away from this.
And that's where I wonder, Bobby, what the difference is between, like, what the grade is between toughness and good teammate. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where that line is.
And that's there is no line. There is a space that resides in between.
Right.
Where you're not practicing hard enough and you're doing too much to where now you're a detriment to the team. There's a lot of gray in between there. And it's going to be different for different guys.
So getting back to my first question, do you ever remember having a skirmish or what they would call a fight in college, high school, NFL?
Of course. Mostly probably in college or the NFL. But yeah, that's when you're trying to make a name and trying to separate yourself and proving like, I'm not going to let you get the best of me in this situation.
I found something out, Bobby, about you that I didn't know. Didn't know this. If I talk to you about 2009 calendar year playoffs, NFL, what do you recall about that?
Well, we won the first playoff game in Dallas since 1998 against Philadelphia, beat them back-to-back weeks, third time that season. Then we went up to Minnesota and got beat pretty good by a very talented Viking squad.
What do you remember about it personally for you?
Games?
Yeah.
Played pretty well against Philly, recovered a couple of fumbles. Played okay against Minnesota. I should have gotten a half sack credit against Favre before the first half, and they gave it all to Anthony Spencer, which I still give him crap to for this day. It was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. It's amazing the plays that they look, because it's a great shot of him, and it was about them moving forward and about him being really good still. And I'm like, he gets sacked a half a second later.
Right.
It looks like he's climbing the pocket, but he doesn't get out of the grasp. So, yeah.
Statistically, you were credited with 4 recovered fumbles in those 2 games.
Maybe I did recover a couple more.
It said 4. It said 2 and 2. 2 in each game.
I don't think.
None forced, but 4 recovered,
yeah,
though.
I know I recovered 2 against Philly.
They had 2 in each game.
Maybe I did have. I'll have to go back and.
That was Pro Football Reference.
The Minnesota game I had erased a lot of because we got beat. We got the crap beat out of us. And it stunk because that was a really good team that we just didn't play very well on that day. And we got behind and it got loud up there. And the Metrodome was a tough place to play. And that damn Viking horn was going off the whole damn game. And we just couldn't get anything going on offense. And if we would have been playing with a lead, I feel like we would have had a better shot. But we were struggling on offense. Our O-line was melting down. Tony didn't play great defensively. He started giving up some stuff, and it got a little rough.
So, yeah, I saw the 4 recovered fumbles in those 2 games. I did not know that.
I made a play a time or two.
What's that?
So I made a play a time or two.
No, I just did. I didn't. 4. I would think that 4 recovered fumbles in 2 playoff games is pretty damn good. I don't think it happens very often.
Yeah, I mean, probably not.
Yeah.
They say a defensive player's worth is measured by the distance he is from the football when the whistle is blown. So I guess if you've got it in your hand, that's a pretty good deal.
Bodie, do you remember watching those playoff games?
I do, yes. I vividly, those are probably some of my earliest Cowboy memories. Definitely remember beating Philadelphia back-to-back. Had never experienced a playoff win.
Really, that was the first in
I'm
your
not
lifetime.
joking.
It was the first since Emmett and Troy and all those guys.
Yeah. And then I remember going, well, not myself, but the team going to Minnesota and thinking, I don't know, maybe. And then, now 15, 16 years later, I've realized that Dallas is never going to get past the divisional round. So that wasn't the 2009 team's fault. That wasn't the 2016 team's fault or the 2014, et cetera. There's just there's a Jerry Jones brick wall that's about 10 feet thick of concrete and brick, I guess.
I was talking
that they just can't. They're just the divisional round is.
Yeah.
It ain't happening, man.
I was talking to Brewer last night. He came through, and we were talking. He had some great. He loves talking about his time because he actually covered Dallas when I was first down there. Like that was his first job out of college, and I think he worked for the Star Telegram and then the Morning News down there. And he was really good. And it's funny because I didn't know him. He missed me in college by about a year. Maybe, I don't know if he's here in 2002 or not. But that was like his first job. And so as I got drafted. And so we were both kind of young in the obviously in the industry and business at that point. But his stories about Jerry Jones and some of the other things as he's watched like over the last 20 years were pretty remarkable. Mostly the off the field stories.
Wow, there's not too much on the field, frankly.
I think Jerry Jones has been good for the NFL. No, maybe not good for Cowboys fans.
I don't disagree. Yeah,
but I'm saying maybe Cowboys fans might not like Jerry Jones.
May.
Okay, I think that Jerry Jones overall has been good for the NFL.
Of course he has.
How many NFL owners can you name?
Yeah, not a lot.
Right?
Him, Kraft.
Obviously,
Haslam. 6 Super Bowls. Haslam,
right?
Yeah. Mike Brown.
Right. There's not many guys I don't think you can name that were like if I put a list in front of you and put a sheet of paper in front of you.
Dan Snyder.
Right. Okay. R.I.P.
I couldn't tell you the new. I couldn't tell you the new owner's name. In
I would just say Magic minority owner because I know Magic Johnson minority part of that.
But I mean, I knew that everyone knew Dan Snyder because he was a jerk.
We all know the good ones,
right? Yeah. But I'm saying like if I put a sheet of paper in front of each of you and said write down all 32 NFL owners, how many would you get?
He's going to be top of the list. For
right.
75%. Like he'll be in the top 3 because even if you're not a Cowboys fan, you may know your owner.
Right. That's the thing I was gonna say. If you could take away, don't list your favorite team's owner, Jerry would be.
I would say how many of those lists is he in the top 3? And it's probably 80 to 90%.
Like Kraft's on the list. Yeah, you said Brown, Haslam, and those guys. I don't know though. Like I don't know who the
Haslam's because we are local here.
I was gonna say him and Mike Brown are. Because it's local, yeah.
I think Brown's been around long enough where he might be more nationally known. Only for his cheapness.
And that might be part of it. But to some fan in California, I don't think that that is like top of mind for them. When you start listing NFL owners, it's like, all right, I'm a Raiders fan, Mark Davis. And then like Jerry's probably number 2. You're like a fan of Kansas City. You're going to say oh, gosh.
See, that's the paper in front of you, Bob. You got to write it down. You don't know it. I don't know it either.
I don't know. If you said the name, I would recognize it, but is it the Hunt family?
Hunts.
Yeah, there we go, the Hunts.
Clark Hunt, yes. So you would say the Hunts, and then Jerry Jones is probably like second or third.
Right.
You know, like that's how it would just be with most of the teams. So.
Well, how many other owners give a weekly press conference?
Have a weekly
radio hit on 105.3 The Fan. Probably not many.
You better watch it, son. And then call them out and threaten to get them fired if they don't get they keep going down that line of questioning.
God, I can't imagine it's like to be a beat writer for Dallas now because you don't know what's going to happen with Jerry.
There's never a dull moment. I did enjoy over the weekend when fans were chanting to Jerry, pay Micah out at Oxnard, and Jerry's response was, that wasn't as loud as they were chanting for Lamb last year. You're like, nice, Jerry.
That's the way. What a great comment. What a great comment.
But more importantly, Bodie, they got the Jesse Ferguson deal done.
Yeah.
That was on
you know what? Ferguson is
he's a good tight end, yes.
So
yes. But it just looked bad optically.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that Ferguson gets his deal done before Micah Parsons.
I mean, they did the same thing in the past with getting I think it was Jalen Smith at the same time that somebody else was up. I couldn't remember who it was right off the top of my head, but there have been other guys, very similar situations where it's like, yeah, we get the Jalen deal done, and that shows maybe it was Dak at the time or somebody, maybe Amari. I can't remember who it would have been off the top of my head, but yeah, they've done that where it's like they'll go to a lesser player, sign the deal, and be like, see, we sign deals. It takes 2 to tango, and you're like, yep, of course.
That thing is funny because I read something this weekend about, and just going through the past of all these different contract dispute things involving the Cowboys and how they always get signed. It always happens. You know what I mean? Now, granted, he pays a lot more than he would have.
Well, the player always wins.
Yeah, the player always wins. And it's just how interesting that he does that that's the way Jerry Jones operates, that he'll keep waiting and waiting, playing this game every time.
Dak's making $60 million a year. And I like Dak, but come on.
So do I. He's not a $60 million a year player, though. So, anyway. Coming up next, a list came out on ESPN. I want to get Bobby's reaction to that because they said something, Bobby, that I'm not sure is true. We'll talk about that next. Morning Juice.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for and there they go. Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm Shanola Hampton. Every day, millions of people face hunger. Today, I will share with you some of their experiences. I'm stuck between paying for medications or paying for food. John from Maine. After paying my bills, I can buy groceries. It's sad to say, food comes last. Alice from Oregon. I thought pantries were for less fortunate people, but anybody could be less fortunate in a day or even a second. Claire from Virginia. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. No one should have to worry where their next meal will come from. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
Bobby played for the Dallas Cowboys. Tito wears assless chaps. I'm dead sexy. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Tito, Bobby, Bodie. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. All the chatters, we appreciate you as well. Thank you for participating there. Love the feedback. Bobby, one thing real quick. Justin Fields, after being carted off, what a serious injury it could be, was back at practice with the dislocated toe. And he Thursday morning got carted off. I think Saturday he was back out there again. Now, he wasn't doing everything, but he was participating in some of the drills and doing that.
He's an athlete.
Yeah.
And so you want to make certain that he's got all of his faculties about him when he's going to be able to start the season. So it's important to get him out there and develop the rapport and understand the offense, but it's also important for him to be healthy. And so pushing him out and doing too much and just having this linger all year that would not be a prudent decision.
And
bruise on the leg is a hell of a long way from the heart, candy ass.
Well done by you, Bodie.
Good job.
Bodie, the same way I told Shark, and you got to know this. Whenever you play Unexpected Sound, I have a brief heart palpitation because I worry I've hit something.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah, I worry I've done something on my end where I've pressed a button I wasn't supposed to press.
Fun and drama, Bodie.
That's what it
all
is.
About.
Actually, it's not, but not forced fun, Bob. Let's be fair about that. Okay, Matt Miller from ESPN went through and looked at the 2026 eligible people who go to the draft eligible people, and went like head to head based on who he thinks is the better one. Like quarterbacks, he did Cade Klubnik and Garrett Nussmeier from LSU. And like this debated the two, who's the better one, and he went with Cade Klubnik. Anyway, he goes through this. Jeremiah Love, that's fine, Bodie. Okay, they got him listed as the top running back over Nicholas Singleton, Penn State.
In our hearts, too.
Right, that's fine. So obviously, Jeremiah Smith would not be in this list as far as wide receivers go because he's not draft eligible. I was surprised that.
So this is it was saying who he would draft or who he thinks was a better college player?
Who he thinks is a better prospect.
Okay.
Among the top two players, right? 2 or 3 at each position.
Surprised Max Clare wasn't in there as far as tight ends go. He went with Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt and Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon. But nonetheless, the reason I'm bringing this up, I was scrolling down this and I was reading this. And it comes down to safeties. And we all know who the best safety in college football is. So this is what he said about Caleb Downs, who he ended up having the first, obviously the winner of this debate. Downs enters the season as my top overall prospect and a rare talent at safety. One GM told me that Downs could be a first-round pick at running back if he wanted to go the Travis Hunter route and play both sides of the ball. At 6 foot, 205 pounds, Downs has size, strength, speed, and versatility to play in the box or as a single high defender. Okay. I remember there was talk about Downs getting some reps at running back before.
Yeah.
I can't believe, you tell me because you've seen the practices. Could he be a great running back?
Oh, I think so. I mean, there were times he hopped in there and got some individual work and different things. Yeah, I mean, he's a terrific athlete, and he studies the game at a really high level. He has the build. Like, the question is, do you have the physical attributes to do it? Yes. He has the vision to be able to do it? Yes. Can you make more money playing safety now than running back? Yes. So that's where you're going to go. And maybe he likes playing safety more than running back anyway.
But if that's true, that he could be a first-round running back, according to this NFL GM, anonymous GM, what would prevent you from using him there at Ohio State?
Well, because you have other really good players. Anytime you're practicing on that, you're not practicing your primary position. And so that's obviously taking away from that situation. There's the risk of injury.
Sure.
And, like, the thing is, how much better who's to say that James Peoples isn't a first-round running back?
It's fair then, Bob. So right now, though.
Like last year, were you going to play him over, like work him in with Travion and Quinchon? Like, those guys both went
absolutely
early in the second round.
Yes, they both went early.
Some of the two of the higher running backs taken off the board. So, like, is it worth trying to throw him in there? Like, we'll have him return punts. Yeah, we
worked out.
The ball in his hand.
That worked out. Yeah.
Like, I mean, he made some plays there.
Yes, he did.
So that's the thing. Like, there's other ways we can get the ball in his hand to have him do stuff like that, as opposed to trying to cross-train him and play like two full positions. Because it's just, especially with that defense with Jim Knowles, like, and what you're asking him to do. And he's a leader, and like the risk of him getting out there and getting injured in a position where it's like you're playing wide out and you can catch the ball. Like, dude, there'd be high levels of contact that he would be exposing himself to unnecessarily. And so I think that's probably some of the battle that they've gone through. And I know Caleb, and he would get on Ryan and want to do it, and I say get on like playfully.
Sure.
And talk about that. I think that was something that they had discussed, and him coming from Bama is, hey, like, we're not going to rule that out. If it's something that you really feel strongly about, we could look at this and examine it. But instead, like, we'll just have you return punts.
And so I guess what I'm saying then, if Caleb wants to do it, should Day entertain that at all? And maybe I'm not talking
he does want to do it, and he has entertained
okay, but not 20 carries a game, I'm saying. And I don't know. I guess based on what you're telling me, when I said that about Caleb Downs could be a first-round running back, and you said you agree with that. I don't know if anybody else saying right now James Peoples is a first-round running back.
Well, because nobody's really seen him play.
Exactly. That's what. Yeah, they haven't. But I'm saying no one's like.
Internally, they probably have an idea of what they believe he can be.
Right. So I just wondered if
I told you he was going to be like J.K. Dobbins.
Oh yeah, if you told me he was going to be that, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't. But I'm saying what GM says is he'll be a first-round running back. He could be a first-round running back right now. That's how good he is. I would want to get him more involved, at least a little bit more, in some offensive sets.
Like I told you, it's just a function of time, like in practicing, and his ability. Like, he can psychologically and like mentally handle it all, but it's just getting him over there to do that means he's not going to be on the defense during that portion of practice.
Right.
And so how much are you willing to take away from the best defensive player to explore him somewhere else? It would be one thing. Like, Chris Gamble played both ways because we needed him to play both ways.
Right.
They don't need that. And I think that he understands that. And if they needed a better running back situation,
right,
and they needed him out there, then I think he would push harder. But looking at it, it's like he would be further exposing himself to stuff. And like, hey, maybe he could do practice outside, outside of the constraints of normal practice time, and do that. But then that's also more wear and tear on your body.
Right.
And so you're asking your body to do more and more. And like, is that going to make you more susceptible to injury? Could it hurt you further down the line? And so it's not that he can't do it. It's not that he shouldn't do it. It's that there's no true need for him to do it right now. So it'd be one thing if they lose 2 running backs, all of a sudden now you're like, okay, well, we're
like they did with Steel Chambers. That it was,
we're struggling to run the ball. Like, why don't you come over here and you can help us out now? Like Cade Stover was like moving back and forth.
Yeah,
and moving
tight
around
end. Yeah,
because those were moves of necessity for the team.
Right.
And then some of it was for him and his long-term future. But I mean, he played linebacker, and then he was like a D end or tight end, then D end, then tight end, like
all over.
And then he came back to linebacker for the Rose Bowl, and then went and played tight end and did a really good job.
I would love to see if they get up big on OU or Grambling. Just see Downs do a couple of plays.
That's useless right
I know
there,
it is.
though.
I know it is, Bobby. I know. I'm saying selfishly, and I'm not saying logically.
You're the guy.
Selfishly.
Hey,
Wait.
listen. You're
Okay.
the guy that said it's selfish to play in the Olympics for your country because of risk of injury to your team, like and your obligation to the team. And then in the same vein, hey, you know what? In a meaningless game, like part of the game on some meaningless play, let's go get you some carries over here, Caleb. Let's say you want to do that. Oh yeah, let's do that. You're telling me you don't think that would be selfish?
Listen, I said it. Wait, I said it was selfish because you're getting paid $50 million a year to bring your franchise a championship. That's different.
Who do you play for, Tito?
Caleb Downs is now getting compensated, whatever that number is. I'm not aware of it.
Large amount.
It's probably one of the top 3 or 4 on the team, I would imagine. Top 5, 6, somewhere in there. And so he's getting to do that to help his team win a championship. Carrying the ball in the 4th quarter against the Ohio University Bobcats is not, when the game is already decided, is not helping him do that. So how is that any different? Hey, you know what else I'd like to see Caleb Downs do?
What's that?
Go over to a skate park and see what he can do over there. I bet he could be like a better version of Tony Hawk.
You know,
Let's
he might
see
be.
if we can start doing that.
I want to see.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Watching Caleb Downs rip a 1080 up there.
I want to see his athleticism on full display.
Great.
That's what I'd like to do.
Have him start doing some skiing too. What else? What else you got?
If you think logic's going to work
Driving race
against me.
cars.
Deebler probably needs another guard.
Yeah,
there you
why
go.
not? Yeah, put him out there. Be great. Watch him D it up.
He'd be good at that.
He probably would.
Probably would be good at it. You know what? Let's have him do it. You know?
Did you see this thing with the NFL? They're going to find players. They said there's more than 100 players involved in this thing, Bob.
Yeah.
Selling their Super Bowl tickets above face value.
That's been a rule for a long time. And
who was it got busted? Was it Tice? Mike Tice got busted for doing
yeah,
that,
as
didn't he?
head coach, because they said he was
That's
out
right.
there like openly scalping them
scalping a Super Bowl ticket.
outside of the stadium. Everybody, it's like the best, worst kept secret around. Where guys always sell their tickets because a way to make a couple grand. Like, you're not getting rich off of it, but it's amazing. I told people when I first got in the league, the Super Bowl tickets were $600 a piece. By the time I was out, they were like $1,500 a ticket. And I'm like, so used
that's
to be
face value.
Face value.
Yeah,
And
the
the
average
seats aren't
person
aren't
not.
great.
Oh, heck no.
They're okay, but you used to be able to get $1,200 for the pair, and it was like $1,500 for one, and you could get to. And like your agent, they would usually have avenues where they would sell them, like they had corporate people to buy them.
Right.
In the NFL, they didn't really care about it as long as you weren't out there putting them on StubHub and things like that. So I think, and now it's a little tougher because they used to send them to you and then you'd send them, or this is how complicit they were. Like, you would give the address of where you wanted them sent.
And it wouldn't be your address?
And yeah, it could be anywhere. It's like, well, and part of it is like, well, I'm going to be here in the off season. I'm going to be there. Like, where are you at? Like, send it to this address, to this name. And you could just have them sent there. And now, like, they're all digital tickets.
Right.
So I don't know if they give them to you and then you would transfer them to someone. So there is maybe a degree where it'd be easier, but also more trackable to that. And you could say, like, well, I just gave them to my friend. Well, how do you know this person? This is like the NCAA when I was at Ohio State.
Right.
You would put down your tickets and we would sit down and they would have a piece of paper and you'd have your 4 tickets and you would write down who was going and what their relationship was to you. And you'd go up and the compliance would like look at it. And is there any, they would have a list of people that were like banned from the ticket list.
Okay.
Like, yeah, for obvious reasons. Like, and then boosters and whatever. And well, how do you know this person? They're a booster at Ohio State. Well, I've known them since I was 8. So, well, did that relationship come after you'd already been offered? No. Like I said, I knew him since I was 8. And so you'd have to just beat people down with this nonsense. But, I mean, you have to fill all that stuff out. And I don't know if they're going to say, hey, how do you know this guy? Well, we're friends. Well, what's your relationship? When did you start to know them?
3 days ago.
And like, are they
when a $1,500 check showed up in my mailbox?
Are they compensating you for these tickets? No. Well, we saw that there was a bank transfer from him to you for $5,000. Well, that was for me taking his wife out for the night. I don't know. Like, you figure it out. Like, I mean, prove that it was for the tickets.
Right.
So I don't know. Like, as long it's just a bad look if you've got a current player or a head coach of an NFL team. Hey, who got? I got 2.
I got 2 together. I got 2 together.
How we know? Oh, you want? Okay, perfect. Keep it in cash.
So
perfect.
Every year when you're in the NFL, rookie year on,
right to buy 2 tickets.
The right to, no matter, every player got that right.
Yeah.
Did you buy them?
Yeah. Did I sell them? Yes, every year.
I wasn't going to ask that question, Bob. I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to do this.
I don't know. Statute of
limitations. Look, they could take away the 0-2 championship game.
I bought him one year when he was in Houston, and he told my mom they were going to go, and I think it was kind of tough. I don't remember which year it was. You could probably pull it up and look at because I think it was in New Orleans, and they were going to drive over because from Houston to New Orleans isn't a far drive, and I think that was one of the years they lost to Pittsburgh. And then my dad, he's like, I just couldn't go. Like, I just couldn't. It was nauseating to go as a fan to watch the game. And that's why people are like, you've
That's the one they should have won on that call in the end zone?
Yeah. I think, I don't know which year it was. I don't know, Bodie, if you were looking, what year?
You said the Steelers made the Super Bowl?
I don't know if it was the Steelers. It was the one that was in New Orleans.
Okay, I got a handful in New Orleans.
It was probably in the late 70s.
Late 70s, 78?
Yeah. That would have probably been it.
Cowboys played Denver.
27-10. Cowboys win.
Maybe that was it. And I don't know. It would have been his second year there, and Cowboys played Denver. They lost.
Was it in the Superdome or?
It was in the Superdome.
Okay, so it was either 78 or maybe 81.
Probably 78, I'm guessing.
81 was that Steelers? No, Steelers Rams were outdoors.
Raiders beat the Eagles.
The Raiders beat the Eagles, and that was the year, because he got traded to the Giants that year.
Okay.
I think it was probably the 78, and it's just like you couldn't. It's just sickening. That's what people go. You ask, have you ever been to Super Bowl? I'm like, no. I've gone down. I've been around it.
Right.
I've never walked into the game. And I go, outside of, all of like my best friends that are. And when I was playing, I wasn't going to go. I mean, if there was still somebody that was playing after I was done that was really close, that I could have maybe seen myself going to watch them.
Right.
But it would have had to
Witten or Romo or somebody like that, yeah.
Yeah, like to go see and to like go support one of my friends. Like, hell, I haven't even been to an NFL game. I went to one Indianapolis game when they played New England as part of a work situation here when Mr. Wolf asked me to go. And then I've been to a Bengals game when we went down to see AJ play there. And those are the only 2 NFL games I've been to since I've been done playing.
I'm at a point in my life now where I don't think the Super Bowl is worth the price as a fan. I don't think Final Four is worth the price as a fan. Like, with how much they're charging, like you said, they're not great seats.
As a team, if it was my team, like, I don't have any teams anymore, but I was like, I told Shark, if you were a Browns fan,
right,
and you had a chance to go see the Browns, if the Cowboys made it to the Super Bowl, Bodie, would you find a way to go?
The price would have to, there's a line in the sand. Yeah. And I think, too.
What if I guaranteed you they were going to win it?
Well, then I would definitely go, yeah. And financially, if it was, slightly reasonable, I would.
What would you define as slightly reasonable?
I don't even know. I guess a few grand a ticket,
yeah,
maybe.
I was going to say,
and maybe not, even if it was. I know it would be mostly nosebleeds, but
$3,500.
I would consider it, yeah.
Okay.
And as long as I felt like they had a chance, which most of the time when you go into the Super Bowl, you think that, but
I'd have a hard time spending that kind of money on a game.
I also do think, though, it kind of.
He's been waiting his whole life.
I understand
for this moment. Yeah. And I think it's hard
to.
Only
2 playoff
That's a knife you don't need to put in him.
Double it. I think it is 4, actually. But I will say, now Notre Dame, if if we had been playing not Ohio State last year,
right?
And I know we would have played Texas instead, I guess. I don't know how realistic that would have been of a win either, but I don't know. If if Arizona State had found their way out of that half of the bracket, I probably would have been in Atlanta.
I told someone, outside of Ohio State,
Like,
that's the only game I didn't think that Notre Dame could win.
the bad is like, especially the Super Bowl. I don't think the national championship. I've never been to a national championship game, but I think it's probably
Bobby's
not
been
as
to at least
bad.
one.
Played in one too.
That's what I heard.
But because you were in Atlanta, weren't you, in January?
Yeah, I've been to all three. The last three ones I've been to as a player or a patron. So,
but like the Super Bowl is like, for me, I like going to games for the atmosphere. I know that's kind of like, well, duh, but like, and the Super Bowl is not like really a football atmosphere.
It's not.
Like, it's a party,
The
which is
national
fine.
championship still has the game feel
Yeah,
to
like
it.
and I think you could pretty clearly see that on TV. Like, that place was half green, half red. The crowd was into it, and so
it's not a corporate crowd, not yet. Now they're getting to the point, like pricing wise, where it's
starting
on
to push
that.
towards that.
Yeah, but it's not quite to the Super Bowl yet. And it's still, like you said, you watch the game, you can feel the energy move back and forth. And it is still probably 80% of the people are there to support one of the teams.
Yeah.
Not just to go for the experience and the environment and I'm going to the national championship game.
Yeah.
Do you need a bank that truly values local businesses in this town and the opportunity to work alongside them as partners? Whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience working here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area and will help you reach your goals, whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale. Riverside Bank will tailor the solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in and get to know them at 6300 France Avenue. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Coming up next, we'll close things out. Tell you what's got us juiced. Morning Juice.
In honor of all those we've lost to cancer and those still fighting and thriving, like basketball analyst and cancer champion Dick Vitale.
I want to beat cancer. I'm going to beat it. That's no doubt in my mind. I'm going to win this battle.
Defeating cancer will take all of us. Join our team to help fund game-changing research that saves lives. At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over the odds. V is for victory over health disparities, victory over setbacks, victory over the unknown. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate to the V Foundation to join our team and help save lives.
Cancer can take away all my physical abilities. It cannot touch my mind, it cannot touch my heart, and it cannot touch my soul.
100% of donations fund game-changing cancer research. Donate now to the V Foundation at v.org.
Hey Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
While serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. Today, I'm a sculptor. Now, my fingers are my eyes. I'm Michael Naranjo. As a veteran, I know the challenges of life can be great. In my art, turning a lump of clay into something beautiful, that is worth doing. Life is like that. We each must use what we can to make things better.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
Now, I show others how they can create something with their own hands. I know it can do a lot of good. With support from DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Michael Naranjo, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Tito has had 2 wives. They've both been named Heather. If you know someone named Heather, please warn her. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. I know the microphones were off there, Bodie, but I want you to know, just to put a bow on what we were talking about, if you need to borrow money, go to Bob before you go to me. I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying if you need to, though, I would say Bobby's your more reliable source on something like that. Fair, Bob?
Sure, why not?
All right. Do what's got juiced.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
All right. According to my sources, it's Monday, Bob. What's got you juiced?
Oh, goodness. Well, it's good to be back in studio, back to see you guys. Big week. Ohio State's kicking off practice, so excited for that. I do have my conditioning test that I'm going to do on Friday.
Fitness test.
You're ridiculous.
Just whatever.
There's no level. I'm not measuring any type of fitness. I'm running against times.
Okay.
I'm not hooked up to some sort of stress test with all this and determining my level of fitness. I'm going to be trying to make times. And it's 20 half gassers. I ran 18 of them over at the practice fields at Upper Arlington on Saturday. Felt good about that. It was difficult. It was hot. It was soupy. It's supposed to be a little cooler towards the end of the week, so that'll be a huge win if I can get that. But felt pretty good about getting that done. Send it over to Schlegs. He's like, "You got it, dude. The times look good. I feel good about where you're at." I'm like, "All right." So I'm going to do a little more honing in on that. Was going to probably make sure I was locked in a little bit more throughout this week and make sure I was like heavily procured going into it, but we're going to be out at practice on Thursday. Probably not going to really run a ton that day. My friend, they're trying to get me, and I think we're going to end up going down to the Dodgers and Reds game on Tuesday. So I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll be fun, and that probably won't be great for my workout and everything moving forward with that, though, for the next day. So we'll have to figure that out. But yeah, that's all got me juiced. And my youngest son, Caleb, his birthday's on the 4th, so that's early next week. So he's, I think that's next Monday, I think a week from today. So he's excited about that. And since he's my birthday buddy, he always loves bringing that up and counting it down as well. And then we went to the Lancaster Festival on Saturday night. And for the first time in my life, adult-ish life, like kind of 16, 17 on, the concert actually got canceled due to the lightning and then the crazy flash flooding. Oh. I mean, stuff was up, creeks were up like 20 feet. It was wild, a wild scene, just as we saw this happen later in the evening. And stuff was still up really high on Sunday morning as well. So, yeah, first time, unfortunately, to get a chance to see Gary LaVox, former lead singer of Rascal Flatts. But a good time nonetheless, get a chance to hang out with my brother and my parents. So I got to do that as well. That's all got me juiced. Bodes, what Schlegs got to say?
That's why you don't talk trash. Just go do your job. You suck. You're getting beat. You know, like, what are we talking about? I don't even know how to explain it.
DYJ, do your job. We don't need Matt Patricia. We can just have Coach Schlegs coach the defense this year. What's got me juiced today, guys? We talked about it a little bit earlier. I really enjoyed Happy Gilmore, too. I watched it on Friday night. I thought for what it was pretty funny. I like Adam Sandler. It was fun. I enjoyed all the cameos. It was not exactly made to win an Oscar nomination or anything like that. It just, if you can enjoy it for what it was, I think I would recommend anybody to check it out there. Probably not as good as the first one, but I don't think it was terribly far off either.
Who was your favorite cameo?
That's a good one. I enjoyed... Okay, small spoiler alert here. If anybody cares about a spoiler alert for Happy Gilmore 2, I got a pretty
integral to the plot.
I know, I agree. I got a pretty good kick out of Scotty Scheffler being arrested. I thought that was pretty funny.
What they did, I'll give him credit on the plot line with how he juxtaposed it with Live Golf and everything. And then the Scotty Scheffler stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was I got a pretty good kick out of that. I'd have to watch it again to maybe give you a better answer on it, but off the top of my head, that comes to mind. Also went and saw the new Fantastic Four movie yesterday. I really enjoyed it. I don't want to spoil it or anything, so I won't go too into depth, but I would say, like, if you ever watched the ones with, like, Chris Evans and Jessica Alba back in the day, those weren't, like, great. They were okay, but if you liked them, I would definitely check this new one out. It's probably... in the post-Avengers Endgame era, if you'll call it, it's definitely one of the better ones. Marvel has definitely had some misses, unfortunately, since Tony Stark laid his life on the line for the rest of the universe to survive. But this one was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. And the mid-credits post, or how would I say that? The mid-credits scene after the movie sets up for what's to come, and that's pretty good. I won't say anything on that more than that, but it's pretty fun there. What does maybe not have me juiced? It was a good thing. I got some good cash for it, but with a heavy heart, Saturday I went and turned in some old video game stuff. I'm talking a Game Boy, Nintendo DS, stuff that I played when I was before 10 years old. Took it to a local old video game store or whatever. Got a good chunk of change out of it. I couldn't believe they still pay that sort of money for that sort of thing, but nevertheless, giving away what was a huge part of my childhood. It was tough to give away. It was worth the money. I got a few $100 from it, which I did not expect to get that. But as you hand it away, you're like, gosh, the amount of time I spent playing this stuff as a kid, not 15, 16 years old, but 7 or 8 years old. I'll be 29 in a couple weeks, Tito, and I don't know. Time flies, man. That does not have me juiced, but what can you do? Tito, what's got you juiced today?
I'll tell you the first thing here, Bob. I'm going to go through some things that were said. Number one, my wife is not very happy about me threatening to run the 53 1/3 yard. She doesn't think I can do it in 17 seconds, which is disappointing. And she said if I can't do it in 17 seconds, then she's going to put me in a home. And so you may have to find a new co-host, which is fine. You'll do fine. I understand that, but I'm going to try to do it if I can. She was happy about the size 14 shoe proof that I gave you. Also, going to the Reds Dodger game is great. I just want you to make sure you're well rested for Thursday's show. When we're at Ohio State, and we also break down the Lions-Chargers game beforehand, we do the preview of that. I'll make sure you're good for that. By the way, Bodie, I don't know if you see it on YouTube or not, but Bodie is flexing quite a bit today.
I am?
Yes. I don't know if maybe it's on purpose, maybe it's not. But Bobby, when he's talking, he is constantly looking up at the TV over our shoulders that we can't see, right? We want one over there, we can look at it. He's doing that. He's basically saying, look what I can do, look what you can't do, what he's doing.
You could come sit over here. We could probably swing the mics around. One of you guys got to run the board, though.
I think it's disrespect. That's okay. Maybe it's unintentional, but I think it is disrespectful. What's got me juiced? I've already said it, Bob. The fact that we get the Hall of Fame game this week. The Hall of Fame induction ceremony is going to be fun. How many times? You been out there once or more than once?
Just one time.
Just the one time you had DeMarcus was out there.
DeMarcus and Zach went in.
Zach went in. And I want to get out there at some point in time because I know the baseball just had theirs.
Have you ever been to Canton? Yeah,
I've been to Canton. Never the induction ceremony. Okay. So, yeah. Bodie, there was a time when I worked for Damon's, and I lived almost right across the street from the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And I got a membership. I probably went there 15, 20 times that year. I would always go there. I loved it. It's a great look. It is wonderful. If you haven't been up there, go check it out because it really is.
It's a museum.
Yeah, it's a blessing that it's that close to us, I think. I should say blessing. Blessing's a strong word. It's a good thing that you should take advantage of that it's that close to us and we have access to that. The College Football Hall of Fame used to be in Mason. And I remember going there as a kid during a trip to Kings Island.
And it was in South Bend.
And now it's in South Bend,
It was in South Bend.
Now it's in Georgia. It's in Atlanta. But yeah.
Can't believe they took it out of the home of college football.
As a
South
kid,
Bend, Indiana. Put it in Georgia.
The thing I remember.
Last I checked, I watched the Sugar Bowl.
Look, the thing I remember about it, they had this really cool thing. It was a football on a chain, okay? And they had it set up to where you were trying to kick a field goal. And as soon as you put the ball on the tee, it had a button on the tee that would start the timer, like a 3, 2, and you had to kick it before it gets to 0 and try to make the field goal. And I'm sure it's a lot more fun then than I probably think about it now. But yeah, football on chain seems like a bad idea. How's that ever going to work?
It was me giving away my video games.
Kind of like
how
that,
can I give this away? And it's I haven't touched it in 17 years. That's why. But you look back, you're like, this was so much fun though when I was a kid. How?
That's a constant struggle in my marriage because I've got some stuff that I have not. One of the many, but that's a constant thing with my marriage. I've got stuff I haven't touched or looked at in 10 years.
Okay, scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
As a hoarder, what would you rate yourself?
I would give myself like a 6 maybe.
Okay, not terrible. We could improve, but not terrible.
The biggest part is I've got 3 bins of old Sports Illustrateds.
Yeah, probably don't need those anymore. But
70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah, definitely.
I still get joy out of them.
Those anymore.
I still read them. I will still read. And sometimes I get show topics
stuff
from
on
it.
the internet though.
Maybe it is. No, I don't know if it is or not. Maybe it is. But look, there's something about holding the magazine, holding the newspaper in your hands. I got a bunch of old dispatches too when I had articles in there, and my mom saved them all. And so I've got a bunch of those as well. That
you should start scrapbooking. You don't need the whole thing. Just cut out the little Jeff, Tito, Thitoff. Did they put that in the newspaper?
I didn't say Tito back then.
Wow.
But scrapbooking's for old people. I'm not old, only 54. That's got me juiced as well, though. Yeah, it's hard to think about that. But I'll sometimes do that, Bodie. I'll be sitting there and I'll stumble upon something that is a story. I did it recently when we talked about the Oklahoma thing with the scrimmages. We had like the alumni versus the current team.
Yeah.
I read that in a Sports Illustrated. It's how I came across that. That's when I started thinking about that. I wonder if that would ever work here.
As long as you hit when you do eventually, long time from now, hit the age that like your kids have to go through stuff.
Yeah.
As long as you're okay with them getting rid of it.
Yeah.
I think it's okay to be a little bit of a hoarder. But when you get to the age of like mid 80s and you're like, I'm not getting rid of that. I'm not getting rid of that. And I'm not getting rid of that. And your whole family hates you because they don't want your old crap like that. That's where,
we know that Carp's kids had a draft for all this stuff.
Yeah.
If there was a draft for my stuff, the kids would just pass every pick. I pass. You want the first pick?
Let the clock run out.
Yeah, just let the clock run out. Somebody else will jump up there. And then, that's eventually what would happen because it would just be a bunch of old Sports Illustrateds at this point. And maybe that football autographed by Jack Ham, Gale Sayers, and Kajana Carter. That might be the most valuable thing there.
Great Penn Staters of all time.
Right, I'm telling you. That was one of the many decisions I've made that I question is having Kajana Carter sign that ball that already had Gale Sayers
at the time.
Dude, I
guess Gale Sayers was in Pennsylvania. Ham played at Penn State.
Ham was Penn State. Sayers was Kansas. Yeah.
Okay.
But they were the two guys, the Hall of Fame that day that signed the ball for me. But yeah, then
makes it more unique.
And then Kajana Carter,
future Hall of Famer.
Right. I should see. Maybe I get Belisari to sign it now. We can do that. Thank you so much to all the juicers for tuning in. Thank you to Bill Bender, Bobby. Great to have you back in studio. Bodie, thank you for all of your hard work. We will be here back again tomorrow. Morning Juice.
Bobby Carpenter here with Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Every successful franchise in sports has a long-term vision, and behind that long-term vision are the people executing the plan. In the words of the great Woody Hayes, you win with people. It's the same in business and in life. Surround yourself with good people and build strong relationships with those people, and the path to success becomes very clear. Here's Chuck Moore, CEO, and Travis Sanders, president of Riverside Bank of Dublin, on how they win with people.
A team's success can be directly tied to the quality of its players, coaches, and leadership. In sports and in business, talent alone doesn't win. It's why we focus on building strong relationships with our clients and why we strive to always offer the best advice, the best products, and the best customer service for our clients.
Thanks, Travis. We want them to focus on their business and their people and let us handle their banking needs.
Tune in every day for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Visit their office at 6300 France Road in Dublin or online at riverside.bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When it comes to protecting your business, whether it's your staff, property, or assets, don't make a crucial mistake by contracting companies that provide subpar and unprofessional service. What you need is a security partner known for their unwavering professionalism and unnatural liability. You need Event Risk. Event Risk is a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company that not only specializes in on-site guarding, but also offers armed security associates and executive protection agents. Event Risk, elite protection for your peace of mind.
Hello, my name is Eric Rose, CEO and founder of Event Risk Security Services. We are a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company providing protection services and consulting to Fortune 500 corporations, movie studios, celebrities, and high-net-worth individuals. If you're tired of fluff margins with low compensation for poor quality security officers and the endless revolving door of vendor staffing, then give us a try. For virtually the same cost, we can then address what keeps you up at night.
Visit EventRiskInc.com.
Hugs from patients like Patrick.
It's something QC Kinetics medical professionals experience every day.
I hugged them. You should hug somebody who does that for you. They gave me my life back, and I really didn't know where I was going to go because I was definitely afraid of having a knee replacement done.
No surgery, no downtime with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. They give patients relief from joint pain using their own healing properties to repair and restore damaged tissue. And the results? Well, that's why we see a lot of hugs at QC Kinetics.
Everything is back that I thought I was never going to be able to do again. I'm still smiling, and sometimes it gets emotional. I get a tear in my eye because of how I was before I went in there.
Those smiles and hugs never get old at QC Kinetics. It means patients are finally getting relief. And now, it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate for these amazing treatments.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380